Hey guys, and welcome back into the Bro 4 Squad podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Hornacek. Alongside me is the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Tonight, we are going to review with heavy spoilers. If you haven't seen it, you're about to basically see it with your ears. We are going to review the new DC animated film, Justice League Dark. We know what you're thinking. Why the fuck are the two Marvel guys from the Bro 4 Squad podcast reviewing a DC animated movie? And the answer is
Why not?
Matt Geiger is dead in our basement. So with that, I will bring in Brian Banner. Brian, what is your alibi? Why are you innocent of killing Matt Geiger?
I had a thing.
Shit. Airtight, bruh.
Airtight, brah.
Airtight, we good. Alright guys, again, this is our spoiler-filled review of Justice League Dark. This came out in the past week if you're listening to this. We like to do these as much as we can. We like to watch a shit ton of movies because we don't have lives. And we like superheroes movies and superhero movies. So we'll break this down into 4 parts. Brian, let's just dive right into it head first. No lifeguard on duty. What were your initial thoughts on Justice League Dark?
I really liked it. Man, I mean, they came out, first off, it had very high expectations for me because it was rated R. I think that's a big stamp for them to come out and say, this is an animated movie, we're going to rate it R. And their last one that they rated R, Killing Joke, didn't really do it for me.
God, that movie sucked dick. I have to say it, man.
It didn't really do it for me, so I was hoping they would redeem themselves. Dude, in the first 5 minutes, again, spoiler. First 5 minutes, shit got real.
I was like pacing around my apartment praying to God. Like, am I a good person? No.
Yeah, and from that point on, I was hooked. Being a Marvel guy, I don't know a whole lot of DC stuff, but I really enjoy the animated series. I thought that it did a very good job of not knowing what was going on and not having a foundation or a basis of what's going on outside of this. They brought me up to speed. They taught me everything I needed to know very quickly, but not like thrown it in my face. They showed me. They didn't quite tell me. And I was able to keep pace and really understand and grasp these characters and connect with them, which was very good.
I'll say.
What about you? Where'd you think?
Yeah, for initial thoughts, I think my main takeaways are, number one, I need more of John Constantine in my life. This dude is fucking awesome. He's like Doctor Strange, but with the swag and like banging chicks of a Tony Stark.
He's like a James Bond meets Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he just looks cool. He acts cool. I want to be him, minus like the satanic possession. Actually, I don't know if you gave me like if you gave me that kind of swag, we could have that discussion. Like I may be willing to budge a little bit on that. But my main thing is these are characters that I didn't really know, but they're cool. Like Swamp Thing is a badass.
Yeah, we'll get to him a little bit more later. But
Deadman may have one of the worst names in all of comics, but I dug him too. And then I know that a lot of people out there, especially on the message boards, are like, why the fuck is Batman in this movie? Like, they're beating us over the head with Batman. To which I would just say, if you're out there and you have had too much of Batman in your life, like, leave, basically. Like, I understand he was shoehorned in, but I thought Batman in this movie was kind of the audience.
He was the audience.
Yeah, he was the dude who's like, what is going on? I'm a normal human, like, relatively.
He was just really along for the ride, too, and, like, it kind of showed, like, everybody can contribute, and I think that this was, in some ways, a setup movie for what they're going to do later on, because obviously they invited Constantine and Zatanna into the Justice League, so I think that we're going to see them later on, and you have to do that to... They have to have that connection, so you can't just have this independent film and then all of a sudden try and bring him in. So you put Batman in there to make that connection and them to become friends, really.
Yeah. It really did a good job of kind of like anchoring itself in the DC universe, especially the animated universe. So we have like 5 categories we're going through in our Comic Movie Madness tournament, which you guys should check out on bro4squad.com, with which we're evaluating comic book movies. Of those 5 categories, 2 of them don't really apply to this animated film. The first one is acting and cast, mainly we could go over the voice cast, but that's fucking boring. They were incredible, we'll just say that. Since we didn't get to see them, we don't want to do that. The second one is effects on pop culture, and since DC animated movies like are just all awesome and all kind of fit the same scope, we're not going to do that. So Three other things we just wanted to evaluate this movie on, like judgmental parents going over our child's report card that we refuse to hang on the fridge because that's a fucking B minus, not a B plus. First one I want to get your take on, and we won't sum it up because if you're listening to this and having it spoiled, you fucking saw the movie. But the story and or the plot, what was your thoughts on what they threw at us there?
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Like I said before, they did a very good job of. They set the stakes extremely high at the beginning. You got that dude that like killed his whole family and the whole neighborhood, and the lady that ran her car over people because she thought they were monsters at the beginning.
Yeah, the bitchy businesswoman who would like in the middle of her conference call decides to kill half a city block.
Yeah, like shit got real very quick. Then again, me not really knowing the characters all that well, they brought them all in very good, relatively quickly, and let me know, hey, here's their story. This is what they can do. This is why they're important. But yet still left a little mystery, especially with Constantine. Like, hey, nobody fucking likes you, dude. Yeah. But you need to somehow get these people to interact with you.
But I would still drink with Constantine any day of the week.
Oh, and any day.
How many times did he try and get someone to get a drink? They'll be like, all right, well, Destiny has, the Dreamstone, so the Earth could end. He's like, right? So shots, or when are we doing those shots?
Yeah, it's cool. Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bombs. Cabs are here. As far as story and plot for me, I agree with you. I was a little kind of cautious the first third of the movie. I was like, dude, I don't really understand what's going on. But then they did a good job of explaining why the actual Justice League cannot help with regards to Destiny and chasing down the Dreamstone. And they also did a good job of not beating us over the head with exposition, but explaining why each character was showing up in the movie. Sometimes when a director or a writer, whoever's doing it, has to explain each scene to you, it can feel really annoying. Like the Star Wars prequels, for example, there's scenes where they literally just sit in a room and tell you the plot that's happening. But this, the way Constantine and Zatanna, when they went in that guy's mind in the hospital, would explain why they were doing it. I got it, and
What did they do, Jeff?
They didn't show us.
They showed us.
They didn't tell us. We need Geiger's fucking bell. Ding! Chicken's done. The other thing that I liked, and I have to come back to this, that's why I was glad Batman was in the movie, because he would ask questions that we were thinking. He'd be like, what is that? Or why are we going here? And I'd be like, thank you, Batman. I'm wondering the same thing. And now they explain it to us, and it makes sense.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Second category we want to go over, best scene. What was it for you in this movie?
Go ahead, take this one first, Jeff.
So my favorite character in it, because we didn't get too much of him, not that we got too much of anybody, but he has a lot of mystery and he just owned every scene he was in, was Swamp Thing in this movie. He absolutely crushed it. My favorite scene actually isn't any of the really cool action scenes. There was some awesome ones with Merlin and Etrigan, and then the fight at the end, and the one with Felix Faust.
Yeah, that whole fight with Felix Faust was disgustingly awesome.
Yeah, the one, and he was kind of funny too, which I liked. But my favorite scene, yeah, I like it. I like my wizard's cocky. My favorite scene was when they first met Swamp Thing in the swamp, and Constantine, just kind of the recurring theme of everyone that they need help from fucking hates Constantine, so he has to kind of batten down the hatches and smooth things over first. But seeing Swamp Thing briefly explaining yeah, he's pretty much lost his whole human life and just protects the environment now, and just seeing how big of a badass he was, that was really cool to me. And I actually think the art was incredibly well done. So that was my favorite scene in the movie. What was yours?
Mine, again, I'm going with Swamp Thing, and it was actually when he died and he pulled his body away from the actual Swamp Thing monster.
God, that hit me hard, dude.
Again, we didn't get a lot of Swamp Thing, but I felt it. I was like, oh fuck! He came out. Again, because he initially told Constantine, no, I'm not helping you. This is not my fight. This is your fight.
He's like, I'll show you where the fight is, but I'm not going.
I'm not going. This is on you. This isn't on me. You're still a douche. And then he shows up and realizes, yes, I need to do the right thing. I am a good person or a good monster or whatever you want to call him.
He's like, I will kill Skeletor for you.
Yeah. And then when he just rips his body away from the, I don't even know, what is that? When he rips
I
his
think
body
it was his human form. Yeah, I guess there was a way at some point if he got the right plastic surgeon or fucking whatever, he could become a human again. But I think him ripping that away was no, bro, you're gonna be Swamp Thing. You're gonna basically look like Dwayne Johnson rolled in a like fucking mud pit for the rest of your life. That's what you're doomed to be.
But that scene when he died, like I felt it, and I was like, shit. Like I was legitimately sad when that happened.
And that took balls from DC. A lot of times in these animated movies, someone quote unquote dies, but then like they didn't really die, and like that was how his story arc ended for the movie. DC's like, oh no, that's it, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like holy shit.
So I thought that was really just a powerful scene, and that's not taken away from anything else because the entire movie was fantastically done.
Yeah, best scene in this movie was pretty tough to pick out. Last one we'll do as far as our grading criteria: rewatchability. This is tough because this is darker subject matter, and I think shorter animated films in general, like you don't really go back and revisit them that often. But what do you think about rewatchability here?
You know, yeah, like you said, the shorter animated films, you don't go back and watch them all the time. Being that it is darker and it's very, I mean, it's just tough. It's sad material.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like I'll go back and I'll watch it again. I think I for sure will. It's probably middle of the pack, maybe middle to upper part as far as the DC animated connected universe that they've got going on now with like Son of Batman and all of those movies. Justice League War and Flashpoint Paradox, all these are connected.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably middle of the pack right there for me.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's probably something kind of like The Crow. I could go back and watch once a year, maybe 18 months. But you're not gonna be able to watch it a whole lot just because of the subject matter.
Right. I agree mostly with what you said, but I think here I have to put it, especially with the new DC movies, just maybe like very very bottom rung of rewatchability, but. To your point, I don't really think they want you to like go back and rewatch this all the time. I know that sounds fucking crazy because obviously DC wants to make money, but it's kind of like an assembling type movie where like the team gets together, and that doesn't play as well the second time as also. But yeah, there's just a lot of dark, depressing shit in this, which I think Matt Geiger is gonna really love, and a lot of DC fans are gonna love. But for me, yeah, it's not like I would rather go watch Justice League War or Son of Batman way before.
Or Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah. Now, having said that, if someone's like, I haven't seen this movie, I'll be like, all right, we need to fucking watch it then. Like, if you're a DC fan, I highly recommend it.
100%.
Last thing before we leave, we have yet to come up with a really fucking awesome grading scale on this podcast. So if you're a fan there, tweet at us at Bro4Squad, right on our Facebook wall, Bro4Squad, 3 words. Email us, bro4squad@gmail.com. Let us know a cool grading scale because we really need one. But Banner, what would you give this out of 10? Just because we are going to go with the plain old vanilla how to grade movies right now.
Out of 10, let's see, 6, 7.5. I'd probably give it like a 7.5, 7.8. I really liked it.
It's a good score.
It was really good. As far as if you grade it against the other DC animated movies, it is much better than some, and it's not as good as others, but I think it's a solid 7.7, 7.8.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10, and that's not an indictment. I really liked it. I probably would have given Killing Joke like a 4 or a 3 out of 10.
I was just about to ask you, what would you give Killing Joke, and then on the opposite end, like a Son of Batman.
Son of Batman would be like a 9. Justice League War or Flashpoint would be like a 9 or a 10. So yeah, just as a frame of reference. If you're at home and you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, we just fucking spoiled the whole thing. But we'll tell you this is spoilers in the description. If you have seen it, let us know your thoughts in the comments on this on YouTube, on Facebook, on iTunes. Subscribe to us on all those places. Bro,
leave us a review.
Please leave us a review. Good or bad, we want to hear it. If you think we should go fucking kill ourselves, we're not going to know unless you write a review and tell us that.
Well, Geiger's not going to know anyway because he's in a basement.
Yeah, that's true. So, for Brian Banner, the mad scientist, I've been your host, Jeff Hornacek. We are the Bro4 Squad. Check us out on bro4squad.com and our comic movie madness tournament. Check us out on all the other platforms we just mentioned. Thank you guys for listening. We will catch you next time.